Mr. Dilip Chandak, Managing Director, Vega Group of Companies, Belgaum, and Mr. Rajendra Belgaumkar, Chairman Governing Council, KLS IMR Belgaum, to formally open the Triple I Series.
This Triple I Series is a brainchild of our beloved Chairman Sri Raj Belgaumkar sir, with the sole intention of exposing you all to the real world of industry and to give you both the place, that is theory and practice, because they should go together, and that's the sole vision. And in this series, at least there would be one interaction happening every month, and the number can be 4, 5, 6 per month also. The whole objective is to try and expose you people to the real world of industry. To launch this, to charter this, we have a successful and charismatic local entrepreneur, Sri Dilip Chandak sir, who is going to share his rich entrepreneurial experience and the wisdom accumulated through this journey. Thank you. Just to tell you, and the ultimate objective is interaction, right? It is not going to be a monologue, it is going to be a dialogue. So better be prepared for that. If you have any questions, you can write down on a slip of paper and pass to the moderator, that is Shailaja Hiremat Madam, and we'll try and take up those questions and get an answer. Okay? So that's the whole objective. Again, and I'm saying, it is not a monologue, it is going to be a dialogue and interaction. Thank you so much.
I was just discussing with Dilip. I remember I and many of us on this road only, outside of IMER, we used to traverse all the time. Okay? And therefore you also will surely traverse that road. And so it is an example of one of us, very similar to us, who has accomplished what he has accomplished. And that is what I admire about Dilip the most. He may get off a Mercedes, he may get off an Audi, he may get off a Maruti, but the core of what Dilip is has not changed over the last 30 years that I have known him. He is the same person. He is inquisitive. Having a conversation with him is a long one, because he will talk, he will question you, he will just share ideas. Has been Dilip for all these years. And finally, the thing I admire about him the most is the fact that his children are so well raised. It is not by accident. So the values that he brings and the ideas that he brings and the passion that he brings, I hope you imbibe it, and the entrepreneur in you is awakened. And he has promised that he will be available to us whenever we need him. Okay? So if it is once a week, you wish to chat with him, with your ideas, he is ready for that. That kind of commitment has rarely been seen in Belgaum among industrialists who have made it big. Commitment of time is a huge donation, and I applaud Dilip for having promised us that, and I hope in the next 10 years at least 4 to 5 among you will aspire to have big businesses like Dilip has. But most important, learn from him how he thinks. That is most important. What you do ultimately is an outcome, but how he thinks, how people think, that is the most important asset you can pick up from such people. So once again, Dilip, I thank you so much, and I will leave the stage for you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I mean, it's my opportunity also to have an interaction, and maybe we have done business all these years, but we also want, I mean, I personally want to see whether we have enough talent to create entrepreneurs. You know, friends, Rajendra is my old friend. we have grown together. He's appreciated me as a friend, whatever it is. But more than that, he has also given me an opportunity to talk to you all. Because I always feel and wished in my life that if I can share my experience, whatever it is, I'll be more than happy. And I got an opportunity to share right now. Basically, I would like to ask you all, how many people feel that doing business is very difficult? How many people feel? You feel. He's the only person who feels difficult, everybody feels it's easy, correct? Or I would ask, how many people don't, it is difficult, basically, you know. How many people, it's very easy. How many people feel easy, just raise their hand, because people don't want to raise their hand also. So both ways, everybody is in this thing, they are not really realizing whether it is tough or it is easy. Friends, business is, we always hear, you know, that person has failed, that person has failed, so business must be tough and all. Not necessary. But if you look around, there are a lot of successful people also, so it must be easy also. But what makes you to be a successful, or it's not the, your education will help you. It's an additional tool that you have. From a 10th standard boy to 12th standard boy to till MBA, you have got one extra tool than your other people, because you have been educated. If this education is taken in the right spirit, just because I am MBA, I know everything, will not help you. You have to start, whatever education you have completed, the day you start your business, it has to start from smallest level. You should not be shy of picking up a cup of tea lying on a MD's table. That is where your attitude shows. And what grows you in your life is your attitude. It's only an attitude that will bring to your level. Now again, attitude, there must be hundreds and thousands of books written on attitude. So how do you define what is an attitude? It's a very simple thing in life. I personally had incorporated in my life, not that I was very good in reading, not that anything, but I was approachable to people. My attitude was to be a friend with everyone. There was every person in this world who has contributed to me, and I thank him for, because I was approachable, he shared his knowledge, and the knowledge that I got from him is what I am today. So, unless you are not approachable, and if you are not thankful for those people who have contributed to you, you will never be successful. Write it down. You read, you do anything, whatever it is. Be approachable. And very simple formula is you have to be approachable. Today is the first day, I would say, come out with your ideas. Don't feel shy. Okay, what is my friend going to do? Somebody, if I ask you a question, who want to be a billionaire, and if there is in your heart that I want to be a billionaire, come out and tell that I want to be a billionaire. That is your first commitment. Don't feel it from here, all my friends are going to laugh at me saying, "Kya billionaire banne wala le rahe tu?" And they will laugh at you. Don't have to get scared of them. This shy nature of the people in and around area has kept us far behind than what actually we have got the talent in Belgaum. You talk to an individual Belgaumite, they are so talented. Any person, you go to the 4th standard boy, you just go and talk to him in Belgaum, and same guy you go and talk to one of your cousin's son, you will find there is a difference in Belgaumites. Because we are at the border of 3 states, we have a culture, because of army we have got North Indian culture, all kind of culture, we have a cosmo culture here. And that exposure is by default we have got in ourselves. But unfortunately we are not using this. Absolutely no. Very few people have been successful. Nobody has made it to the level of big level here, from here. But there is a huge potential. Our weakness is this, we are scared of the society. We are scared of our friends. We are surrounded by a lot of negativity. Negativity in the sense, it's in your mind also at times. So come out of this concept. Don't get scared. When I used to talk, it was a big talk when I was in college. Some people used to laugh, but then fine, doesn't matter. That was my idea, I want to share it with everyone. I had a concept in my life, whatever is my idea, I should tell everyone. People laughed. at times today there are all those positive friends there. Then you had small ideas, because I've achieved more than what I had already told in my life. Commit to yourself, commit to the society, because you are surrounded by society. Tell them this is my idea. You achieve or you don't achieve, that's a different story. At least you have made an effort to work. Very few people, I want you all to start doing business. Entrepreneurship, it's a big thing to do because you are giving employment, you are contributing to the society as a businessman. And in case if you fail, you are more smarter than other person who have not tried. So give a try. See, if I keep speaking all these things, by tomorrow morning it will be in your head and again you will forget. Let us have some interaction, So how many people actually want to do business in them? I am ready to help them and give my experience. So let us ask those people's wish is there that I want to be a businessman. People who would like to work for the big organization is also a good idea. I mean, either you be a millionaire or you work for a millionaire, it's one and the same. So people who would like to, see, I can contribute to somebody who wants to be a businessman. Other people who would like to work also, I can just give them a small advice. Just because of your MBA, don't go with an attitude of MBA. Just go, you are there to serve, you are there to work, and you are there to grow. But those people who would like to be an entrepreneur, or if you have any question why I should be an entrepreneur, let us have a discussion. That's what I feel. Let us not, a lot of other things are available in so many books and all, you will always keep coming across. But if we can interact and understand each other, and if we can be of help to each other, okay, in short, I will do that. Because my journey, I don't know, it may inspire you to a certain extent, but in another 2 days or 3 days, it could be a forgotten case to you. My goal is so that eventually you all interact. However, like sir says, it's a good idea that I would say, to be very honest, we started with nothing in our life. Our joint family business was in doldrum. We had losses, and there was a time when we thought the survival also would be too difficult. That's when we, 4 brothers, and I had just finished my graduation and the 3 were still in the school. There was a goal that I would work with my brothers only. We will start, eventually I'll have to take care of them and we will work together. That's why we started with a small portable gas appliances agency we had, which was a closed shop. That's where we started reviving. I was doing my business management in IMER, and that's when I started my business. So whatever I used to learn here, I used to try and go and implement it. I had a practical field available, and I'm telling you friends, just not to appreciate my IME or anything, but it really helped me. I had a goal that I should earn 10,000 rupees at least a month in my life. That was my goal to start with. Very soon we achieved. As soon as we achieved, I appointed one MBA guy with 6,000 salary in those days when my total turnover was not even 15,000 rupees. My dad said, "What are you doing?" I said, "He will bring that much income for ourselves and we will have an exposure, let us see what will happen." And that really contributed. There was one person who used to sit and discuss with me every day. I also wanted somebody to discuss and listen to me, like you are there today. So that's where we were discussing, new ideas used to come, and ideas, every person has a lot of ideas. You yourself think you will have 10 ideas to come, but next morning all the ideas are dead. We'll implement tomorrow, that tomorrow never comes and the ideas are dead. This is what I never wanted to do. Every idea comes, we wanted to experiment and implement it. Then in 1918, that is when we started in 86, 87. But what used to happen, our expenses were high, brothers' education expenses, we could never manage that expense and income. So we were there what we were. Then in 1989, there's a Motor Vehicle Act had come, that helmets will be made mandatory all over the country. So we took the challenging job of starting an helmet industry with zero helmet industry knowledge. Basically zero knowledge about business also. Not that we had enough funds, we went and borrowed some loan and all those here and there. My mom had some savings limit, that also I went and finished off in that project, and the compulsion never came. So all the money had gone. So we went through a lot of stress during that time. But now we decided that we have a helmet factory, and there was one more helmet factory, Vega, in Belgaum. So we created some kind of strategy to take over that company. That time only Karnataka was compulsion, and that was a saturated market. And the way we calculated, and we went and bought over Vega Helmets factory. To our unfortunate, even that we bought in October, and in December, helmet compulsion had gone from Karnataka. So now you are again down. But friends, never lost our confidence. Because we had a confidence that this product is going to sell one day. With the traffic increasing, someday it will come. Now how to sustain was a problem. In 92 I realized one thing. If I stay in Belgaum, we have 4 brothers, there is nothing we can do. Because we have not been able to pay our suppliers, salaries was becoming difficult. I took a decision that I will go to Bangalore. I'll stay in Bangalore. But staying in Bangalore would have been another 20-25,000 rupees a cost that time. I mean, in a very basic needs also was 25,000 in expense. So if we do that in Bangalore, one thing I realized that most of the raw materials come from there. I will beg, borrow, steal whatever it is required. If I put it in the bus next day morning, if it comes, my helmet factory business will increase to so much, at least 50,000 rupees I'll have. So 25,000 rupees I'll be in profit. That was the sole motto. I went to Bangalore. Children were very small. Wife was not ready to shift with minimum infrastructure. All the infrastructure was available. I said, let's go and see. Coincidentally, that as soon as we went there, it was on 17 September 93. We started our factory. On 21st September, within 4 days, there was a news in the paper that from 1st October, helmet will be made compulsory in Karnataka. So Karnataka state became compulsory. Compulsion had come. And because we were in Bangalore, we were getting advances. So in those days, we got 10 lakh rupees as an advance, where we didn't even have 10 rupees left in the company. Friends, what I mean to say is, but that daring to take the decision and keeping myself available gave one boost to start with. That's where the equation started changing. And with the past experience, we always realized the business is always up and down and up and down. So basics for security, some investments has to be made. So the best investment we decided was to get into real estate and keep on investing into real estate, whatever little we can. In last 15-20 years, all the equation changed with the real estate. It became huge boom. So our investment gave sometimes 30%, 40%, at places 100% returns also. 100 times, not percent, times. Property which we would have bought for 6,000 rupees became 6 lakh rupees or whatever. I am just telling you all, opening up with you all, sharing my experiences. But the motto behind the property was just not an investment, actually, to be very honest. Our motto was, even if we have small property behind us, we will have our confidence high to do business. Then we can dare to take bank loan. We never wanted to, we were a little conservative. Just because bank is giving money, don't take money if you cannot use it. All those limitations also we had. So, during this period, there was enough problems. I mean, we can talk about it. It's not that there was no problem. But the problems are nothing that is not solvable. There's no problem in this world that is not solvable. Problem creator are you, and the problem who will solve is also you. So that's how it is, and that's how we have come till this level. We traveled all over the world, got our exposure. We were exposed to the best of the societies, best of the businesses, and that gave us a confidence. In short, again, I would like to tell you, the end result is an attitude. Ignore what is not required to do. Somebody is making fun of it, just ignore. Don't have to waste time behind that person. Try to encourage each one. And biggest asset, if you want to develop to be successful, you should have a heart of seeing somebody's success. Understand, you will get only in your life what you will appreciate. If you appreciate something, you will get. If you don't appreciate, like if you appreciate a rich man, only you will become a rich. It's not a tokare festival and all those nonsense things. You will never become. So start appreciating your friends. Like if you are doing MBA today, a lot of people have contributed to come here. If I ask, most of them will tell me, because of my father I came, because of my mother I came, because of... It's not that. Because of your friends also you are here and you are doing MBA. If you are only one person in this class, you would not have ever done the MBA. So even your friends also have contributed to becoming an MBA. Why then you have jealousy about with them? Because of, without them, you would have never been anything. So your friends are also equal. And today, most of the jealousy comes from your closest friends. If it is coming, you forgive them. You be have that heart that your friend has to be successful. If you are surrounded by successful, there is no reason why you will be failure ever in your life. So your first goal is to be surrounded by successful people. You wish every morning, afternoon, everything, my friend has to be a successful person. Even if I am the poorest person of all the successful people, you are still a successful person. There is no reason that you will have anything less in your life then. This simple attitudes and application, if you do in your life, that I will think good about every person in my life. The day you feel I have got some jealousy, you think about yourself, why I was jealous of, who is that person? That person deserves what he has and what he wants. There is no reason that you have to come in between them. If you come in between them, you will not get what you want. First, wish. You have not to give anything, you have to just give a wish. These small things only will bring you to be successful. It's not a rocket science for every successful person. They have not been made differently. They have not been, maybe few people, they are second generation, third generation, they were from industrialists. But still it's a challenging job for them. Because for them, it's more challenging than you and me. We have nothing to lose. They have the reputation to lose. They were the second generation people to look after. So it's not that, it is very easy for me to say, okay, Kumar Mangalam, he comes from that Birla family, so what is the big thing that is? It was more challenging for him to live up to his reputation of his family. He could not do all that he really wanted to do because his family culture was a barrier to him. And then he would have, that's my feeling, I'm not very sure that's the truth or no, but I still feel there could have been restrictions to them also. Any businessman, it is difficult, but then it is easy also. It's the attitude that has made people grow. The daring you do, and what we have to lose now? We are starting with nothing. There's nothing to lose. So friends, those who want to become businessmen, you raise your hands. That is what everybody talks about. There was a time when doing business, because very few people were doing business, that's what people think. And today, but if you analyze, every stage is an opportunity. The Facebook is made today. Microsoft, Bill Gates has been made today. And they became the richest people. If you see the few richest people are just last 20 years, so many billionaires have become. And those days, communication was so big a problem. They had their own limitation. Today we have our own advantages. So I don't believe in that. My personal belief is, even today somebody can come out, you form a small group of people, start discussing. You see by evening you get so many ideas and suddenly you start realizing, yes, yeah, even I can make it. But start meeting people. 4 people you form, okay, let's give an idea. How will this idea work? How will that idea work? In 2 hours, 3 hours time you start realizing, yeah, everything is easy. But we do also is a big art of where you get that positive energy among yourself, where you can discuss, you appreciate that person. Create one platform where you can talk to people. Create a platform where you can meet people. Business is not difficult. Business is attitude. I feel business is just your attitude towards, how you want to do it. Once you start doing business, it's not difficult. We can discuss. See, we have spent 30 years of time, not what I am talking today, I had that knowledge 30 years before. It is an experience, but if I can share my experience of 30 years, I can cut down your journey by at least 5 years, 4 years, 2 years, I don't know how much, but we can. It's not only me, there might be a lot of people around you. If you see, if you can share. You have to get ability of talking to people, and if you have understanding a goal of doing your own business, eventually it's a fantastic thing. I mean, that's the one thing, quality every person should have. Because those people who wants to start their own business are the biggest contributors to the society. Or even if you want to take an experience also, it's fantastic. But then, if the goal is for you to be a successful business person in life, the day you work for a small organization, work it with an attitude that you are the boss of that company. A boss should not shy of cleaning your office premises. A boss should not shy of doing the smallest thing. With that attitude, if you go with an MBA attitude, and you may have some people working there for 10 years who are much richer and smarter than you, but because you have that degree and they don't have degree, if you give them distance and you show your attitude at an MBA and try to teach them, you will not be accepted. Develop an art of getting accepted by the smallest person. The peon also should start respecting you in the organization until the MD. How would you do that? Is only with your work you can attract them. Once you achieve this, then your business, when you do this, your business, it will be very easy for you. Like negatively, if I talk, suppose if you start telling you are just an accountant and I am MBA, you are not going to be accepted. If you are not being accepted, you will start wasting your energy into fighting with the person in the organization, and eventually you may not be achieving. With that attitude, once you are rejected and dejected from yourself, your confidence will not be as high as it's supposed to be while doing your business. Very simple, I'm telling you, for everyone, everywhere. Start, you have to be accepted. You have to be accepted in your friends, accepted in your organization. To be accepted, if not so, yes, sit down, please, no problem. If you do not have that acceptance level, that is the biggest failure you have. And how do you get accepted? You have to be good with people. Let that person be, somebody may chase you, because you are smart and your work has been appreciated. There can be some politics. Somebody wants to keep you away, and just ignore. Don't run behind that person. Try, your work will prove what you are worth. You try to prove by putting somebody down and your smartness, it will be a temporary. You will be exposed, and once you are exposed, once people start, in my organization, if I start seeing you, she just acts, then all the roadblocks are there. But if you are sincerely, you wait for your opportunity. Your boss will recognize one day what you are worth of. Don't go day one to prove yourself what you are. Wait. And the game is of all waiting for your opportunity. And one day it has to come. Your good, sincere hard work will definitely pay for you one day. It's a long inning game. Nothing is short. Shortcut will not work anymore. Like he says, difficulty is because people want short money and they fail. But if you are planning for a long inning, we waited for 30 years for whatever we dreamed for. It didn't come one day. We went through, it's fine. We have to be successful. There's enough long life. How many people want to do their own business? First tell me. There are many. Very good. See, this is where all those who want to do their business, and if you feel I can be any help to you, please approach me. Or let us create one small group of 10 people, and let me also see, it's a new experience for me to see whether I can be a contributor to you in any form. I am available for you anytime. Or we can create a group of 10 people. It can be boys, girls, doesn't matter. We can sit over a dinner and discuss. You can ask me some different questions. You can come to my factory. You can call me. We can, anywhere. That's not an issue. But let us see whether we can achieve my time. The most easiest way is delegating with the confidence the work to the other. This is what I have achieved in my life. Anything I do, if somebody tells me I can do this, with full faith I hand over the job to that person and I keep myself free. have that confidence of delegating the work. And once you have delegated work, give some time for them to deliver exactly what you are expecting. Guide them. Don't keep on telling them, this is not the way you should have done and this is not the way. Then you will get stuck yourself doing that. Then I will not have 10 business, I cannot manage to run them. I still tell I am available for everyone 2 hours, 3 hours, whenever you want. Because I will get faith are two things that you have to have in people if you have to grow.
My name is Mahandesh Algatti, and first of all I want to congratulate you for giving a very good product like Vega helmets, because I am using that product since many years.
Thank you so much.
Actually, it has saved my life also, because once I had met an accident and my head, I hit the road, but fortunately I was wearing your helmet, so I saved it.
Thank you so much. See, this is a big compliment, and this is a success in my life when I hear people saying, and we hear many. This experience you will never read in paper, because you will read in paper a guy died of scooter accident, you know, but you will never hear a guy was saved. So there's enough. We get a lot of emails, we get a lot of things, experience, and that is a satisfaction what you are doing. Thank you so much.
Sir, I have got a question. Like we teach one concept called as SWOT analysis here, that is strength, weakness and opportunities and threats. Okay, I will not concentrate on the strengths and weaknesses. I want to ask you about the opportunities and threats about only the helmet industry. Like how do you see yourself, that is the Vega helmets, like due to some competition? Because recently I read in the newspaper that even Fastrack is coming out with some helmets into the Indian market.
Correct.
So how do you position your company in coming years?
See, competition is bound to be there everywhere. If not for competition, there would not have been Vega existing also, you would not have a good product also. I'm telling you, if I was the only manufacturer of helmet in this world, I don't think I would have done justice to my business. I would not have been innovative. I did not have, will be, the product what I'm giving you today would not have been giving if there was no competition. It's a challenging, and I take it in a very different way that now Tata is also my competitors. Why not? I mean, let us see where we stand. If that organization is coming, see, we will still sell the helmets, how much we sell, 5,000, that much big market is there. But now the challenge is not that whether I sell 5,000 helmets, or whether I can make a better product than Tata can make. That is how I have to look at to my business, if I have to grow. Just making helmets and selling helmets, fine, I don't still feel any competition. But there is, I take it as a competition because now if they are making helmets better than mine, and whether I can overtake them or not, and I wish they make better than us, then only we will be more innovative. Otherwise we will be saturated. You will be buying the same product again and again, because you have no choice.
First one is, do the ideas need to be innovative all the time to be successful in the business?
Say ideas are ideas. When your idea comes, it is definitely innovative, because otherwise everything is available there. What is an idea? It is an innovative. When you discuss and you have come out with a concept, that means it is something different than anything else is there. But your idea can be implemented. Sometimes there are so many grey areas still open in the market. You don't know, people are, even I have not seen, you have not seen, but if you think, if you, by doing this, there is a scope of doing business. Everywhere opportunities are open. Opportunity has to come to you. You cannot, you can keep looking at the opportunity, but then you keep yourself available with everyone so much that people come and discuss with you. Share your ideas. The best way to make your successful idea is share. Even if it is a stupid idea, doesn't matter. Your SWOT analysis will be sorted out there only. Somebody will tell there's a weakness in your idea. And don't go to do a lot of SWOT analysis and all. If you see first strength, then you are supposed to be discussing about the weaknesses. You discuss so much about the weakness that your strength will never be available for you.
Analysis paralysis.
Analysis paralysis. It is do with your gut feeling. You feel this is an idea, discuss, form a small group, discuss, give a try. And what you will have, suppose if your idea is not successful, but at least you are successful by gaining some experience because of that. That you never know when it's going to come up, come in use.
What if people start picking up your ideas and then they did you? There's a question.
Original is original. You don't bother about that. And somebody copies also, your idea is successful. Why you are bothered? You feel yourself successful because your idea was successful somewhere. Have this attitude. Don't bother. You will get what you are going to get. There is going to be copy. There is going to be competition. Start accepting these facts of life. Others will not know. मेरी idea बोलने से वो copy करेगा करके मैं idea ही नहीं दूँगा और मैं idea भी use नहीं करूँगा.
Stop thinking about it.
Don't think. Keep talking. Keep doing. Nobody can do it. It's not easy for everyone to do it. When your idea is there, it is more because it has come from you, within you. So the advantages of you being successful with your idea is more than somebody else copying your idea. Or kar bhi liya, let him grow up 10 times more than you. What difference it makes to you? At least you thank that person that he has taken your idea to that level. It's all attitude, how you look at the things. Keep yourself available. If you have to drive on highway, first you reach highway. Otherwise take the countryside roads and keep moving. If I go on highway, the traffic is moving fast, this is going to what somebody comes, races fast and hit me from behind. All that is not. You take your own safety measures and travel, and then if accident has to happen, it will happen. Don't bother about it. We keep traveling day in, day out. Morning we are here, evening we are here, elsewhere in there. I cannot think it is plane को कुछ हो गया तो ये हो गया तो जो होना है वो होगा उस दिन गायब. Next day one photo and finish. Forgotten. But if I would have been thinking, I would not have been here also today. Don't think much. Just enjoy. And I am telling you, you have to be successful. You have to enjoy. Without enjoyment, you will not reach where you are. I mean, if somebody asks me, what is the biggest regret in your life? I will say, not even a single day I have any regrets in my life. I enjoyed my school days to the fullest level. Rajendra, we enjoyed our college days to the fullest level. Nobody would have thought that we could be what we are today. Because that time we were different. And this is your age. But this, now you are past that 12th standard and graduation. So you become a responsibility towards your life from now. You cannot do all that what you were doing day before. You have to keep changing. You have to be
One
flexible.
more question here is how much personality is important for being a successful entrepreneur? Because in MBA we do highlight about having good personality, soft skills and so on. And how much that is the capital which has been invested to become an entrepreneur? What if the idea fails? How much risk is good?
How much percentage is risk and how much percentage is a success? Now what happens if you are successful? There is a risk everywhere. You leave your house and come to office. College is also risk. Where there is no risk in life. You lost, yeah, you give a try. And you analyze in your business what is the percentage of risk. You are doing a high risk business or you are doing a low risk business. And what is something that you have to lose? That analysis everybody has to do. All these are myths. You have to keep yourself available. You have to grow. You have to, you come on highway in short. If you want to race, risk is bound to be there everywhere. But millions of cars passes on the highway, very few cars are met with an accident. So that risk is there. So how much, what is the percentage if you calculate the amount of cars that passes on highway and end results of car accident, it must be in very, very small decimal points. But nobody writes about how many cars passed. One car accident at Sankeshwar is written. And we believe all the cars in Sankeshwar have got accident.
So as a student now, how do you, what suggestions or advice you would give us to simultaneously coming to college and getting our ideas implement our ideas.
See, smart boy is somebody, for business there is no age, and college should not be a restriction. You study one side, implement your ideas, same thing what you have discussed. Form a group, discuss ideas, start doing business simultaneously. We have done business and college together. My brothers, especially when they were like, my brother, he was doing civil engineering, he used to help me, we used to travel with us. Last 1 month, he used to take off, he used to study, he used to get first class. You should, there is no time as such. 7th standard, we sold t-shirt. There was one guy called Rajesh Medikeri from school. We both decided we will do business. What do? We had gone somewhere, we bought one 10 t-shirt and we tried to sell. We lost 100 rupees, that's fine. But we tried. 100 rupees, then he wore 4 t-shirt, I wore 4 t-shirt, finished. This is our capital. How much we laugh on those things. But in 7th standard, we decided to go to Korea. We went, asked mom, no ideas, we went and got it. Who's going to buy when that same t-shirt is available at lesser cost? Then we become smart by using 4 t-shirts.
One more question which is, I thought it's very important to be answered. Like you said, you saw an opportunity in helmet market, helmets in Karnataka. But is it that you saw the opportunity and then you started chasing and then you built your empire? Like how did you start it? Like, okay, you saw the opportunity, but how did you convert it as business? Like you wanted, maybe that time you wanted some information about helmets and what are the products going into it, where the raw materials to be sourced, and all those business information had to be gathered. How did you start then?
See, one is, we came in helmet business, as I told you, because the helmet was supposed to be made mandatory all over India and there was supposed to be a huge demand. Based on the information, we jumped into this. Now that we have jumped into the well, we have to swim. No, it was a very good question, and now if you just listen to me what exactly happened. We are making high quality, good helmets. That's another big problem what we were doing in those days. Because our helmets were minimum expensive by 200 rupees than our competitors like Ster, Steelbird or any other Delhi people. 125, 130 rupees your full face helmet is available from Delhi. And our full face helmet is 800 rupees. So 200 to 800, so 600 rupees difference from the lowest quality, then somebody is for 400, and 200 rupees was a huge difference in those days when people are not aware of exactly what quality. First of all, people are not aware about the helmet, what helmet is and what helmet means. Everybody wore helmet for police. Now I'm talking 20 years down the line. Say like my parents, 20 years down the line we were supposed to be on two-wheeler. Our parents' generation, they didn't even know. They always spoke negative about the helmets. Somebody whose son is 18 years and 20 years was about to start riding two-wheelers. The parent is talking, that helmet is an headache, man. It will sweat, it will make bald, cases aata, or somebody will say, it is a headache to carry everywhere you go. Now see the attitude in the society we are living. Here you are supposed to be an example and forcing your child to wear a helmet, and there you are making a statement not to wear a helmet. In that market we are now there. So how do you survive now? And what is to happen was, helmets, we knew there is a huge future with the growing traffic and all, the people are going to wear helmet. One day the parents are going to make compulsion. So helmet had a very different market. One for example, I'll give a Hyderabad market. Hyderabad being a conservative town, then boyfriend-girlfriend culture was always been there. So he bought 2 black helmets with 2 black visors so that his girlfriend is covered with his face. So there was a market available. So even for that there was a market. Believe me, we sold hundreds of helmets every month, only black color with black visor. एक color का एक helmet का demand क्या है? There was market, self-market creation is also there. So nobody anticipated in the primary will not be so smart. Nobody is smart, even at least I am not smart. King, helmet would have been sold for that purpose also. It's sold. Eventually, what happened was the awareness started coming up. So today we are selling highest helmet because there is no compulsion anywhere. Because today, if anybody buys a helmet, he'll buy a good helmet. Somebody is buying on his own, not for police or anybody. Like he says he purchased a helmet. You had to buy a Vega. It was a 200 rupees, same copy, same everything, another 200 rupees cheaper would have been there. Available. Not that you just, because of brand you were 200, we justify why you were 200 rupees expensive. Because if my son also has to buy a helmet, I don't have to make a special helmet to save his life. He can go and pick up any helmet from my factory. Because that is the safety standard we implement to every product there. That is a quality we will pay one day. As I told you, wait for your time, wait for it. We were in a very bad situation in 1999, 2000, I'm talking till 2000 also. We were running hand to mouth because sales were not as well, our orders were there, we were innovative, we were putting a lot of money into R&D, there are a lot of models we were doing. Somebody can come and see in the factory how we do and how we operate. It is open for you. And it's a long journey of 20-30 years now, totally. But then we were determined to sell what we wanted to sell. We had a confidence of this is a product that country needs and the people will appreciate. And one day I will get a compliment like he gave me, like many people give. And at the end of the day, I feel 2,500, 3,000 helmet we make. The 3,000 life we are protecting every day. That's a big confidence we have for ourselves. So everything you do should have a confidence. How much money comes in your pocket is second, I believe. Actually, money is a byproduct of your passion. It's just not, you don't chase money. It will come if it has to come, but just work with your passion and see the life, how fun and enjoyable it is. Money will not buy happiness. You keep yourself available to people, approachable, talk to them, meet people, go out, enjoy your life. It's fun. And for that, you need to be committed. I would like to tell you, it's not a negative about MBA or anything, but some small experience which I don't want you all to come across this. In our organization, there was a time we used to not like to appoint MBA. Take it very positively what I am trying to tell you. Because there was a people who used to come with a biodata and I am an MBA. And we tried giving an opportunity to them, they could never gel with the other people. Every organization is different. You have to, when you go to some organization, study the culture of that organization before you send your resume. If an organization has grown from zero to some level, there must be a lot of people there already who have made that company. It's not me who have made this company one person. There are a lot of staff. There is if you come, I'll introduce you to a person in my organization called Basavaraj Madhpati. He comes from a very small village of 2,000 population in the district of, near Sankeshwar, some place. I will not even remember that name of the town. He, in 1991, was an office boy drawing 800 rupees a salary. An office boy coming on a cycle and all. But his passion towards his work and dedication towards the company was so high that even I didn't have that kind of commitment towards my company. This guy, I want to share this as an experience. So well purchased and all, he started looking after, sir, I will take care of this, I'll take care. He started taking the responsibility of the company. Today he is the purchase manager of the entire Vega Group of Association. Everything. And office boy, if I ask his resume and his education certificate, if I go to ask him, I'm sure he will not be able to produce his 10th standard pass certificate also. That's my feeling. I have never asked him. That's a different story. What happened was, see, this hard work office I have seen. And now when you come and give a resume in the company and you find out that this guy is a 10th standard pass and if you try to interfere, you will be thrown out of the organization first. If my son also comes and tells me about that boy, I would tell him if you want to join the company, join, under him work, others will leave. So this kind of dedicated people are already there in the organization. Your MBA certificate will not help them to change our opinion. You can change my opinion provided you deliver there, give that time, The guy who has given 30 years, you cannot expect you to change him in 30 days. My opinion. But there is one nice thing I told about this guy to you. I would like to share. In 98, 99, when computers were all coming, this boy doesn't know English, doesn't know anything. Then I told him, see, Basora, still I am aware. We are working together. Till I am running this industry, I know what hard work you have gone. Tomorrow my son comes and joins. He may come with some fantastic ideas that everything should be computerized and all, and there will be ERP programs and computers are going to run and not the human being. That day your value will be zero in this organization. You upgrade yourself. I want you to be computerized literate. Because in my lifetime I don't want anybody to see you putting down in this organization. This guy so positively goes and joins English classes, he sits on computer, and you come and see this guy working today, you will understand what it is. That is the dedication he has. So what I want to tell you is, just because you come from small town or anything, there is nothing like that. You have an organization to work for. If you get an opportunity to work in any organization, be a part and be a satisfied person in your life that you were helpful to grow that organization. And he is one live example I can give you. Likewise, there are many in the organization, but I can tell you one person at least. So, your MBA, you enter day one because you are MBA, no organization will accept you from day one. Or for that matter, anybody. Unless you deliver your goods and you become a part of that organization. And stick to an organization. I am telling you, this is like a Japanese system. For them it's an insult if they shift the job. Here we start jumping from here to there, and nobody will be there. I may use you today thinking that tomorrow you are going to go, so you are restricted to that level. Today we are, after working so many years, that person in our life, if he doesn't have his own house or anything, then we are failure, not he. You know, he has to enjoy all the basic needs that the company is giving him apartment, the company is giving him the car, company is giving him everything that one person he would have never dreamt of. But his hard work gave him all that he deserved. So your hard work is definitely, your loyalty will definitely pay you for this. One day, there was a successful person and he was so successful in his life that he went on expand his business extraordinarily. At one particular point he realized that he could not manage well, so that his company is coming to a doldrum, and now the liabilities are huge and he cannot do anything, and he is going to cannot control the liabilities, and the whole organization is going to collapse and all, and he could not accept this thing, so he thought that I'll go and commit suicide now. He goes and stands on a mountain, on a cliff, and you want to jump and commit the suicide. For 10 minutes he thinks, let me enjoy the nature, last 10 minutes in my life, and jumps. So he's sitting there on the desk. A guy comes in a suit and all, and he comes and sits next to him. And he asks him, what happened? What are you here for? He says, no, this is what I have done in my life. I was so successful, but at one particular point I was so much of liability, now I'm going to die, I want to commit suicide. So he says, why you want to commit suicide? Because liability comes. He says, I'm Henry Ford. The other guy says, I'm Henry Ford, you don't commit suicide. I'll give you $100 million. Give another try to, revive your company. So this guy says, okay, and in 1 year's time, if you don't do, you can return my money, or if you don't return my money, also fine, but you take this $100 check and you go and try. So this guy keeps that $100 million check in his pocket, and he says, okay, let me give a try. So he goes back and he says, after 1 year I'll come, and if I'm successful, I'll return it back to you. If not, I'll commit my suicide. He said, okay. He goes back, he keeps the check in his pocket, and he says that this time I'm not going to make a mistake of just bringing the money and so on. First I want to see what are the weaknesses, where do I prevent loss. So he starts his factory, correcting his factory, and he gets involved, and he revives the whole company in a year's time. And in this period, he forgets to encash that $100 million, and he's revived his company. Okay, he's not used his money. And then, after 1 year, he wants to go and sit there. He goes and sits and is waiting for this Henry Ford to come. who has given him so that he can return his check back saying and thank him for giving him opportunity. He's waiting, and suddenly this guy comes. He comes with his suit, boot and all. Again he says, what happens? He starts giving, saying that thank you so much, because of you I was survived. And $100 million I have not used at all, but because of you I put it. And as he's talking, there are another 4 guys comes and they pick up that Henry Ford and they start taking him away from there. So this fellow asks him, why are you taking him? Where are you taking him and going? He says, I don't know, he is a mental guy. He thinks he's a Henry Ford and he keeps distributing checks to everyone. So friends, what you need in your life is a Henry Ford check, not actual money, to be survivable. That confidence of doing something. I can be a Henry Ford check to you all anytime you want. Thank you so much. Thank you for being patient. And last, I would like to tell you, come in the market, come in. One day I will be very happy to see some few people are entrepreneurs here and successful people, and wish you all the best. Thank you so much.